Welcome to the High Vibration Reset, the podcast for women ready to step into their next level of success without burnout, overthinking, or ever feeling undervalued. I'm your host, Ciara Conlon, and for the past 18 years, I've been helping women to take full ownership of their growth, their voice, their work, and their leadership, and not just to succeed personally, but to create real impact in their communities, their workplaces, and in the world. So in today's episode, I chat to the beautiful Denise Napolitano. Denise is a spinal flow practitioner, a kinesiologist, and a PSYCH-K Facilitator. Now, Denise's work helps people to get in touch with the body's natural healing abilities by releasing stored stress and physical blockages, as well as accessing the subconscious mind and reprogramming limiting beliefs. And this work helps both healing and personal growth. Denise is a beautiful soft soul whose presence immediately makes you feel safe and grounded. And in this conversation, we talk about a shift in perspective and how subconscious beliefs can block our healing abilities. Also, how do you know it's time to make a change and what to do about it? Make sure you're following the podcast on wherever you get your podcasts, and I hope you enjoy this conversation. So good morning, good evening, Denise.
Good evening to me. Good morning to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation. I'm really excited to hear more about you and more about the fabulous work that you do. So can we kick off by you just giving us a little bit of background about who you are, where you are, and how you came to do this wonderful work to help people?
Sure. Okay. So I'm located in Melbourne, Australia, and I've been here for the last 11 years. But I'm Italian. I was actually born here in Australia, and my parents came in the 60s, in the 68, I believe, as migrants. And when I was 4, I went back with my mum to Italy. So they decided to divide, their paths. And I lived this situation as I always felt a very lucky girl, because even though I had my dad very far, my father very far, I was a special little girl because I was put on a plane very, early in age.
You had 2 houses.
Yeah, with the tag, where I was going, and like a parcel. So
Brilliant.
it was. I felt special as a little girl, and I have to say, Australia always, every time I came, really gifted me with beautiful experiences. So it was very unusual in the 80s to see, a little girl going on a plane to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
So even though I was born here, I'm Italian parents, and I grew up in Italy. I married, I had 2 girls, and then at the age of 40, I moved here. So
Right.
easy to know my age now. I gave all the details. And what can I say? I always, I suppose in common with lots of other people, but growing up, I grew up very shy, very insecure. I just felt not a little bit confused, I would say. Lots of things didn't make sense, and even the adults, to me, in my eyes, they didn't make sense. They looked confused as well, and to a little girl where I was looking for someone, or to have comfort and to feel secure. I couldn't find that, because even my mom and my stepfather, they were not the ones that could help me. They had these stories, so I was like a lost little soul. Making lots of inside questions. I didn't have anyone to talk to, and so I think growing up, I was observing all this world that didn't make sense, and only with time I sort of matured the understanding that I had to find my answers.
Right.
um, I have to say that I had the big luck to find my husband, who was a huge rock for me. And I found that secure place that I was looking for,
Okay.
and that gave me the opportunity to have that secure place where to start and breathe and sort of find myself again. So this is what I can say. And then um, growing, I well, you see, before I said that moving from Italy to Australia, Australia always gave me beautiful experiences, because I was like divided between two countries, and even though they
Mm.
have lots of in common, but they are also very different. um, and so every time I came here, I sort of had to look and see things from a different perspective. A very little but representative example is when I came here when I was 14 to see my dad. I stayed 6 months with my dad's
Right.
family, and because I was always so shy and insecure in primary school, I was misunderstood. And instead of understanding that I was just shy and not able, because in Italy they put you in front of all the class at the black, uh, how do you say in English, at the blackboard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have in front of everyone to give answers to the questions, and I would just freeze. I wasn't able to do that, so I was a little bit confused. Instead of understanding that that was shyness, I was labeled as not able, not smart enough, and I believed that for a
Okay.
long period of my life. But at 14, as I said,
Terrible.
when I came here to Australia, and I was put in high school, and because here the program is so much behind, I was all of a sudden a genius in class. I know math
Brilliant.
like anyone. I was just a genius, and
Take that.
I had knowledge of history, of geography, and things that and I started questioning, how can it be that now I'm so smart? I wasn't before.
Brilliant.
So
Yeah.
this really helped me understand that life is just a matter of perspective. And so when I came back, that I was 15 and I started high school in Italy, I was completely different. The world around me still saw me as the old Denise, perceived me, my family and my friends in the old ways. But because at 15, then you start, luckily for me, you start, the age is a little bit different from Australia. So you start high school. I
Yeah.
changed all my environment, and that allowed me to have the space to grow and to mold myself and to start leaving my old a part or some parts of my old self. But
So a
yeah,
new start.
a new
Yeah.
start.
It allowed. Yeah.
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 So that was one of those very big important moments where I sort of started
Yeah.
understanding that I could be someone different.
Well, that's really
Yeah.
interesting, and I think you're one of the fortunate ones in understanding that at an early age. I mean, what did you say? You said you understood that life was about your perspective.
Yes, and also what I was very lucky to observe is because what it was happening to me, I start thinking, well, this is happening to other people as well. So I started
Yes.
observing people and with their flaws, even my stepfather, and trying to understand, well, I wonder what's his story. He's acting why he's acting because he must have a story behind. And so um, I'm not sure if it was the experiences or my character as well. I've never been brought to judge. I've never been a judgmental person, but more on an observer in what it was,
Right.
yeah, the behavior. And I think from that experience, the age of 14, coming here for 6 months and coming back, really helped me to, you know, enhance this ability. So I easily now connect to people because this is what I do better. I'm able to see beyond, um, yeah, the anger of
How they see
people. Oh,
themselves.
yeah, yeah, because there is always another story behind. Yeah, so yeah,
Exactly. And that's really important, isn't it? That and we'll talk about this, I'm sure, Denise, because it's the essence of the work that you do. It's this story we create about ourselves over our lives isn't always useful.
that's
And
right.
it's sometimes getting in the way of our fulfillment, our happiness, and anything else we want in life.
That's right.
So after high school, then, did you set out on a particular career path or what happened next?
Well, in Italy, I worked in Milan for many, many, many years. I was one of those many taking the underground, and I used to do 40 minutes of underground because I worked on the other side of the city. And the underground was my quiet
Okay.
moment. It was like the moment where I used to sit, read, and think and rest. And I always found myself there thinking, God, I'm here on the underground again. I should do something and I should change my life. I felt stuck at the time,
Right.
and I knew that I wanted more. And I was doing exactly the same things every day, getting down in the underground at the same point, seeing the same people. I learned all the wardrobe of the people, the same people that I was meeting, because then
Wow.
we are very, how do you say, we are stuck in our habits, me myself, I would stop at the same height of the train and this meeting, seeing the same people, and you think, oh gosh, how long this is going to go. um
Well,
yeah,
did you know that apparently up to 95% of our day is habitual?
yeah,
So, as you say, even stopping in the same place, thinking the same thoughts at the same time on that train,
yeah,
it's incredible.
yeah.
And yes, there is a time where we need to interrupt that, don't we?
That's right. So I was lucky enough to be in a. I worked for many years in a in corporate. I was with lots of women. It was an office with 32 women, and I loved it.
Nice.
It was good. I could get along easily with everyone. I was the only one, and my boss couldn't believe it. I said, "How do you do that?" But yeah, it one of the beautiful things he organized was a inside course for personal growth. And I remember
Mm,
that this person was talking about the values of life and what motivates you in life and everything. And I remember that I really set the intention of changing my life and to really, I
right.
just didn't know how, but I knew that I had to
Mm,
find the right way. I had to find what was a passion for me. Uh, I remember being in a positive way a little bit envious about my brother. Since the age of 17, he was drawn to pots and he became a chef, and
okay,
and I
lovely.
God,
Yeah.
so young already, he knows what he loves and everything. And so I said, no, I don't care. Somehow I'll find my way. And so I think that is when I decided that I had to, change and to
Mm,
put the seed for Australia again as a family. And that was much, much more difficult to do because when you move on your own, it's easier. But when you have to move in an entire family,
Yeah,
it's completely different.
it's a big deal.
Because I knew that once again, Australia was going to bring me, new
Deeper
opportunity.
insight.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And this is what happened,
brilliant.
so life went on and I moved here and it was a big, big challenge. The first 2, 3 years, we really struggled as a family to settle in. Um, my, yeah, I had, family,
Yeah, of
difficulties. My girls had to settle also in school, new language and everything.
course.
And then trying to help.
But it's,
Yeah,
yeah, no, sorry. It's a good point that I just want
yeah,
to, mention there, and that is you knew you needed to change, but you didn't know how.
yeah,
But you took action anyway.
yeah,
And that's where I see a lot of people get stuck. So they don't know how, so they do nothing.
yeah.
And obviously, this is part of our jobs as facilitators and helping people through life. But it is that really important that we can wait and wait for the how, but it might never come until we take some sort of action.
That's right.
So yours was quite dramatic, moving across the world, but
Yeah,
but you already had that base there and that connections formed already. But yeah, I think that's really important just to stress that we need to take some sort of action before the clarity comes. But Denise, moving on then to the type of work that you do now. So you do a variety of
that's right.
modalities or there's tools that you use to help people. Do you want to talk to us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so then in the attempt of helping a family member that was struggling at the time as a mom, I didn't have those tools. So I started spending lots of time and um, looking for ways outside the classic mainstream modalities to help this person that was struggling. And we spent lots of times exploring meditation, tapping, and any technique that would release stress. And it was a beautiful journey because we both learned a lot. We had beautiful breakthroughs and experiences. And then when I bumped into what I call my first love, which is spinal flow, the first technique that I learned, I didn't want just to bring that person to do that modality. I wanted to learn it. I was just, so taken by it.
Yeah.
So yeah, spinal flow is the first technique and is hands-on. It works with the nervous system. So I have the person on the massage table. I switch on the nervous system and the body start releasing layers of stress, the blockages. And it's just so beautiful. So instead of working on the body in a mechanical way and adjusting the spine, you
Hmm.
actually let the body do its magic. And it is
Interesting.
beautiful because in some cases, so everyone processes in a different way, but in some cases you've got little muscle spasms, you've got twitches, or you've got real movements and waves. Um, some of the people are more still, but they can feel inside little electric connections and things happening. So, yeah, that was my first love and my first, let's say, modality that allowed me to start
Mm.
working with people. And so I left my old self that was working here in Australia. I started working as
Very
a
good.
medical receptionist. So for a few years, I was that. That also allowed me to have an insight of what is
Yeah.
the medical system and how it works. So it was a good learning for me.
Mm.
Um, Yeah, I don't want to expand too much, but surely I understood that I don't belong to that world.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I prefer other avenues. Then I realized, because you see, spinal flow works, yes, it's hands on, you work with the body, but and the body changes, but it works not only on a physical level but also on an energetical level. Okay,
Right.
so it realigns not only the spine but also all your energy systems. So it's pure magic if you
Mm.
think about it. The body,
So
it
it is
is
the
magic.
physical and the energetic.
Yes, and
Yeah.
for the people,
Beautiful.
I always say that for me, spinal fluid's a bit like having the chance to fall in love with your body again, with who you are again, because
Mm.
you reconnect, you feel your body. We create that deep relaxation that we should have when we sleep. And allow our body not only to recharge but also to heal, because you see, our body has
Beautiful.
this ability to heal, but not only for little problems like the little cut, but also for major problems. Um, I'm sure,
And we've forgotten
yeah,
that.
we've forgotten that, and we
Yeah.
have to rediscover that. So that's the beauty of these techniques, that you can
Mm.
rediscover that magic. But then going on, because I don't come from a medical background, I felt that I needed more content, and then I bumped into kinesiology,
Okay.
and
Mm.
that was a beautiful journey as well. Yeah, and there I learned a lot about Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicines, and the energy systems within the body and how to rebalance them. And it was very it was amazing. And I think with kinesiology, you'll never
Mm.
stop learning, really. Um,
Okay.
there's always a new workshop. There's always, something new to learn. Um,
So just remind us, Denise, what exactly is kinesiology?
Kinesiology. Okay, sometimes I give for granted the thing.
Yeah. I think lots of people probably know it, but
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
really explain what it is
It's
again,
interesting.
please.
After I'll go back to what I wanted to say now. So kinesiology is a beautiful modality that it uses muscle testing. So a biofeedback. It uses a muscle to have informations of what is happening inside the body. So if there are any imbalances, so people come with a problem that can be either physical or emotional, and then you tap into the body, you use a muscle as a muscle indicator, and the muscle will give you those answers that you're looking for. So where is the problem in the body, to which emotion is connected, um, and then the body also will tell you how you want to diffuse it, which is the best way. And there are so many different ways. There's music, there's tuning forks, goal statements, acupressure points, you name it. You can use anything.
What's your favorite way of using
Okay,
it or
so
of
I'm a
asking a question?
big believer that we don't need any tools. Okay, so lots of
Mm.
kinesiologists, they travel and they go around to do their balances with a luggage, because they've got their
Wow.
cards, they've got their flower essence, they've got so many tools. My belief instead is that we have everything that we need to heal. So I ask
I love that.
for me, my hands, myself, and the person, whatever is, so I can move and travel, and I don't need anything else apart from me and the person, whatever is offering to me. So um, this is me. Kinesiology is beautiful. You can do it in so many different ways, and you can retail it for who you are. Yeah.
So I want to know more. So you say you use your hands. So how do you ask a question and get your answer.
So that's with the muscle testing. So you usually a kinesiologist uses the brachioradialis, which is just the muscle that is holding the forearm. Yeah, so that's because it's convenient as a position. So if I was
Right.
there with you, I would be asking you to hold in front of you your arm, and I would
Yeah.
spindle, so pinch. In this case, we could use all the arm. If you would be standing in front of me, and when I pinch the belly of your muscles. So to hold your arm, you would be holding the anterior deltoid in this case. Yeah. So if I pinch the belly of the anterior deltoid, the signal of stress goes to the brain. Okay. And the brain says, okay, there's something going on. Let go, let go. And so your arm goes weak. You can't hold it anymore. So this is your body, your arm is detecting stress, physical stress, but it can do that also on a larger scale, on emotion. We can test that in a different way. I could ask you, okay, now, Ciara, just think of something that you don't like, okay? And your muscle would go weak, okay? Think of something that you like and your muscle would stay strong, okay? And then I would say, Ciara, let me think of something that I don't like. And I think usually it's always the same thing. It's my dog's poos that my daughter doesn't pick up from the garden.
No, you've reminded me of something I need to do after this.
And your muscle will come weak again. But I had the stressful thought and your muscle became weak. Why is that? It's because thought is energy, not only for yourself, but for me. And because we are antennas, okay? We are like radio stations. We are emitting and receiving information, and you received my stress, okay? So understanding these concepts is so important. So a kinesiology, what it does with the intentionally is going to test different areas of the body and of the energy systems, and the muscle will tell me where there are the imbalances, where there are the blockages. Okay, so there is this talk of exchange of information. Yeah, I hope this makes sense.
Very good. It does. And this is what you were doing on our session. So I was fortunate enough to have a session with you, and you would ask me questions.
Yeah.
And that was what you were doing. You were receiving the message yourself and testing yourself.
Yes. So in this sense, it's beautiful because you can do it as well. So I can surrogate for you. Or, for example,
fascinating. Yeah.
You can use people to surrogate for other people. So in distance is possible as well.
Wonderful. Yeah. So you mentioned spinal flow, kinesiology, and then there's another modality that you use.
PSYCH-K, the one that we've done. So PSYCH-K is my last love. Well, it's a lie because I'm already studying something else, but it's my official last love.
We're never done.
That's right. And PSYCH-K is beautiful. So it's beautiful because while kinesiology looks for the areas of imbalances and understands the link between the emotion that has been stored, the story, takes out the story, okay? You can even understand that emotion, how long it has been there, when, it happened, and everything. PSYCH-K doesn't really bother about the story. It's more directed, immediate. So it always works with muscle testing, but it has the person is your guide and is telling you what it wants to work on. So you start with an emotion or an issue that you have, and you diffuse within minutes with a little procedure, balance that stress. And while the person is processing, sometimes more information come out, but that's not necessary. The important is to diffuse and rebalance that emotion. Um, what I really like of PSYCH-K is that when I start a journey with someone about with PSYCH-K, but not only when I have people here coming here, and usually they come
Mm.
for mainly spinal flow. So uh, it's just interesting because people consciously come because they want to heal, but then I need psyche to tap in their subconscious to see what is their belief on healing in their subconscious. Do they believe that they can heal? Okay, so with psyche I can dive in straight in the subconscious mind and see um, and tap into their beliefs. So they might think, lots of people think that healing is a long process, it's not possible for them, or even that they
Mm.
don't deserve healing. It's just impressive what you
Wow.
can
Wow.
find sometimes there.
Yeah.
So it is a very quick way to change your perception of life. Before, we were talking about how I used to perceive life as a child. If I had Psyche at the time, I could have helped myself changing my belief on myself, changing the
Right.
idea that I wasn't smart enough. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
and I could, for example, because primary school was very stressful for me because I felt misunderstood. So I could change the perception of um, of how I lived in school. So with Psyche, you can't change your life. I always say that I can't change your mother-in-law, I can't change your teenage son, but I can change how you perceive them. Okay, so you'll see your mother-in-law with different eyes. You'll see them with no stress. You even might find a way to like them.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I'm very fortunate with my mother-in-law. I love her. I love her a lot. But I had three teenage sons at a time,
yeah,
um, and I totally understand that. In looking at things differently. And one of the things I always encourage is, not to focus on all of their flaws,
yes.
but to shift into gratitude is my saving grace. But it would have been even better to change some beliefs and perceptions if I had you at that time.
Yeah, that's it's
Um,
beautiful. And
yeah,
I think something that really I need to say is that for me, Psyche also allows me the opportunity, gives me the opportunity to explain to people how we work, how our mind works. Because the moment that I learned that, I felt so free. I all of a sudden felt that I could rewrite myself completely. And I felt free from
yeah.
whatever belief I had. I still had to work on it, but I knew I could work on that.
You knew it was possible. And do you think, Denise, obviously, is it our belief in the possibility that prevents healing for some people? Because there are people who go to a healing modality and everything is transformed. And then for other people, they say that that didn't work for me.
Of course,
So do you believe yeah,
certainty, yes. Sometimes even
yeah,
one of the first balances that we do, they teach in the Psyche, is to balance. Psyche works for me because sometimes we have something inside of us
yeah.
that doesn't allow the process to happen. So it's fundamental to tap in the subconscious and to check the belief on healing or the belief on that certain modality.
And other than that belief, is there or are there any other beliefs that you see showing up regularly with people that are preventing them from healing? And whether that's physical healing or emotional healing, are there a couple of usual ones?
Well, when there are deep traumas that made people feel unsafe. So yeah, these are the ones that really, and you can see because working with the physical body and touching the body. So in spinal flow, we really need to scan the back, the spine, and you feel it from top to the bottom. And whoever had traumas related to safety, security, and not being loved, the foundation of our body usually is stuck. Okay, so those emotions are more than likely stuck in the base of our body, so in the sacrum area. So usually the back also has a huge blockages because the emotions start there, but then the secondary, so this is the primary blockage that creates the secondary blockages in our base, in our foundation. Yeah, the body talks about these traumas and everything, and safety is huge and is one of the ones that take more time, and it has more layers to it. Let's say it
Yeah.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And the emotional blockages, are they always related to the subconscious? So is there that mind-body connection always? Or can there be physical blockages that just form?
Yeah, there are physical blockages. I mean, if someone, has an accident and you have a whiplash, or
Mm.
you might have also an emotional trauma. You got frightened and everything, but sometimes it's more physical. You go to the gym, you don't do that exercise properly, and it's a more physical.
And you can release.
Yes,
Yeah.
so yeah, you've got physical blockages. So the blockages that you have to think in a body can be physical, emotional, and also chemicals. Yeah, chemical blockages.
Yeah.
On the body stores a lot of chemicals, and unfortunately, in this world, we are really bombarded by chemicals. Chemicals are in the water, in the air, in the food that we eat. It's everywhere.
Mm.
Um, and when I scan the spine of people, I can feel those layers of chemical layers that the body is storing. And so, yeah, it takes time, but those
Yeah.
are actually the first one that go, the physical and the chemicals, and then the emotionals are the one that, as you mentioned before, are then stored in the subconscious, and it takes longer, and it's a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And, if somebody is feeling that kind of disconnect, feeling maybe even depressed or very stressed out, like where should people start? What's your advice
Mhm.
to somebody who's feeling
So
a bit lost, I
yeah, so
suppose?
if people feel that way, it's because they are a little bit too taken by the outside world. Okay, so they sucked in by this madness that is that is life. Um,
Yeah.
I always think of people that feel in that way, of a song, of a line of a song of an Italian singer, that it says that life, I'm translating from Italian, life is like a dance, a balance on the madness. So life is madness, yeah, and we
Mm.
need to find the way to dance on this madness. So
Beautiful.
if we feel in that way, we need to slow down. We need to have
Hmm.
even those few little moments. Find a moment for ourselves, and to slow down and to breathe and find connection to ourselves, because that's the truth. The outside world is sucking ourselves. And we lost connection with who we are. So if we
Yeah.
don't do that, we are lost. So breathing and slowing down, even just for a few moments, that's a big start. And then there are lots of other ways, but that's probably the first one that I would suggest.
Yeah, no, and it's a great suggestion. And actually, Jen, who I interviewed in the last podcast, was saying there are many paths up the mountain. So we spoke about that in terms of, you know, there are different guides, there are different people that come into your life as teachers at different times. So, you know, I try and encourage people to get in touch with their intuition and to feel where they should go next.
That's
So,
right.
like your experience, all of these modalities attracted you at a different time and you move towards them and embrace them. So that's it. We just have to stop and slow long enough to be able to say, okay, where should I go next? Who is going to guide me? And sometimes we don't need a who. We need to go inside as well, and maybe we already know, which we actually do already know, if we can quieten our minds long enough to listen. And that could be breath work, it could be PSYCH-K, it could be some other modality that just gives us that first step.
Yeah, that's right.
How about you?
How about me?
How about you? Yeah, how about you in terms of your habits? So if you have bad days, low days, days maybe you don't have them anymore, but days where, you know, you just kind of slip into the old mentality. What are your habits? What are your high vibration habits
No,
that
I
gets you
still
back? have
have them. Remember that I still have 2 teenage daughters and a husband and a dog and 2 cats. Yeah,
Yes.
like everyone, I have my moments as well. And yeah, for me, it's really important the evening and the morning. The morning when I wake up. So I wake up with the lights. I don't need the alarm clock. And I have that half an hour where I really tune to myself and I have my routine. I do energy healing, and so I clean myself energetically and I check that I don't have any attachments. And um, in the evening, I like to do a little bit of breathing. I do a little bit of meditation. And I think I don't think lack exists, but as a habit, you use the word lack. I think my path led me to do what I love. So even if I have those difficult moments, even just staying here and talking to you and having a session with the client for me is not a job, and sometimes you see that they had a breakthrough and that fills my heart. Or I go for a walk with my dog and I can allow myself, because I work from home, to do it when I want. I can go to the shops when I organize to do it. I can hang the stuff on the line, and I really like it. I just enjoy every moment, everything I do. I don't allow myself to complain about anything. I just, I think it's the mindset that really allows you to like even things that they're not likable.
Like the dog,
Like,
looking after the dog,
and
picking up after the dog. Yeah,
picking up the
I
pool.
love my dog.
Picking up the pool. Yes.
I'm going to be chanting that in a half an hour when I'm doing that in my garden. I love my dog.
And we go back to
No.
perspective. You see, it's all a matter of perspective. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a different dog, actually. I had a beautiful golden retriever called Kobe. And I think he was a year he got out of the garden. and he was missing for a couple of hours. And Facebook is useful for some things because we put a notice on Facebook and we found him. So, but I remember that day walking around the town looking for him. And I remember saying, I will never complain about dog hair again. I will never complain about dog hair again. Please come back. But so it's that shift in perspective.
Yeah,
that
right.
We spend our days focused on the negative, focused on all the things that aren't perfect. But if we could just spend a little bit longer looking at the beauty that surrounds us, the love that's all around us, and the joy that's there for the taking.
Yeah, and we really make a difference, because I think that life is like a card game. And this is something that I talk with my people as well. Because when you change, people want, sometimes they're complaining, oh, my husband does this, oh, my mother-in-law does that, my son is like that. I said, okay, look, we can't change anyone. The only person that we really can change, we can't change the world, what is happening around the world. We can't change the world in which we live, but we can change ourselves. So that's the most important thing. And I can tell, putting the attention on the beautiful things that are happening and the big movement and the changes, even the attention that people have more and more increasingly on the holistic environment is telling us that we are having a major shift in the world.
Yeah.
And I would like to add these. Last November, I was gifted with a special water. I don't know if you're aware, but on the planet there are some waters that they are light waters. They are special waters. So there are waters that usually they are in particular sacred location of the world, and people go in pilgrimage, and so-called miracles happened. Now, with quantum science, we know that they are not really miracles, but it's because in those places, those waters, they have a very high vibration, and the person is there really willing and wanting, with a clear intention to heal. So combining the high vibration with a clear intention on healing, the miracle happens. It's not really a miracle, it's just quantum science. Okay, so it is beautiful. And there are many different light waters around the world. Now, I was gifted with this water that is called cosmic water. So if anyone is interested, they just need to go and Google cosmic water. And this water comes from the cosmos, from outside. So it was like downloaded from outside. And this friend of mine, because it comes from Italy, okay, so she came with the bottles of water, and she was all happy, and she said, Denise, I've got something beautiful to gift you. And when she gave it to me, I thought was light water, and I got so excited. I was, wow, how beautiful it is. It's not easy to have this water. So this is just to say that there is so much happening out there. And if we put our own attention on the negativity, we are going to feed and grow that, okay? Instead, if we put our attention on what is beautiful happening, then instead we really, in that card game that I was mentioning before, we are playing the cards for a positive result. And, and this is on a little scale, like playing the cards for our life, or in a bigger scale. So
yeah, and like that is exactly what you say. When you raise your vibration, you're impacting, the cards are falling for other people around you, and you're influencing them, and again, I always feel we have to mention that we are fortunate enough not to be in areas of the world that are in very low vibration. But I don't think, and this is my belief, that other people wouldn't hold, but, dwelling too long on that doesn't help.
No.
You know, I think we need to do whatever we can do, whatever we can manage, help in whatever way. But then we need to try and raise ourselves up again. Because I believe that that vibration has a positive impact. And as you say, possibly in the quantum field, my good intentions are impacting the wider world.
Absolutely, like the
So
pebble
yeah,
effect, yeah?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, what is sparking joy for you right now? Where do you go, or what do you do that really brings joy?
Okay, so as I said before, I'm in a very lucky moment of my life. I do, what I love in my own terms, in my own time. Um, and yeah, my focus at the moment is to keep on growing and understanding how we work. Because you see, yes, it's beautiful. People come here and I facilitate for them and I help them.
Mm,
Um, uh, but I'm a really big believer in the fact that we should learn to be self-sufficient. So we shouldn't be rely on anyone to,
mhm.
go to someone and say, please heal me.
Yeah,
That's, okay, we are helping each other for a while, but
yes.
ideally, everyone should be working on self sufficiency. So, this is
Mhm,
my primarily focus at the moment. So, even before I mentioned that, but it's typical of holistic healers, that we never stop learning and we're
mm,
always looking for other ways to heal and quicker and faster and more efficiently. And I was looking to some informations a few months ago about this school in Mexico for kids, and they teach these kids to read and write blindfolded. Yeah,
wow.
I was just, blown away.
Mm,
So within 1 or 2 sessions, kids can develop that mindset and see, and they can talk, play soccer blindfolded. So they switch on those extra senses that they actually already have it on.
yes.
Those are senses that we switch off growing up because this world tells us, how do you say, programs us to believe that we don't have.
Mm,
So my journey, and I don't know how long I will take, is to regain those ability with which we are born. So they are innate in us and that kids have, because that's our true self. So
mhm,
we are so limited with this body, with these 5 senses. This is not how we should be. And the beautiful part is that these kids, especially they've noticed in kids that they have learning difficulties or um, they
mhm,
have behavioral problems. They improve massively their condition. They become more heart-centered, more emotionally balanced, and they
mm,
become smarter. So I would love one day, who knows, but to be able to sort of understand how to recover that so that everyone could go there and
mm, mhm.
and
Yeah,
reconnect with what we truly are. And I think also I'd love to work with kids because kids are the
okay.
ones that will change the future of this
Yes,
world. So I'm not
yes.
sure how everything will fold out, but this is what I have
Yeah,
in
yeah.
mind. I'm a big
Fabulous.
dreamer,
Well,
as you can see.
we need big dreamers. I have a mounted picture on my wall over there that says, I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. And they're words from David Bowie.
Oh.
So, yeah, it doesn't matter where our path takes us as long as we allow it to excite us and challenge us, and we keep moving.
That's right. That's right. Never give up.
Yeah, never give up. Denise, thank you so much for this conversation, which I know will bring a lot of benefit to a lot of people. And if you are in Australia, make sure you check her out. What city are you in, Denise?
In Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
So if you're in Melbourne, definitely go find her. But if you're anywhere else in the world, she does online sessions. As I mentioned, I have had the benefit of one, and I will definitely be doing more. But links to Denise are below in the show notes, where you can find out more about her on her website, flowingsouls.com.
Yeah.
And it's been wonderful to learn from you, and I wish you so much joy and success in the future.
Thank you so much, Ciara, for having me here. It was beautiful to chat with you. Thank you.
So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. As I mentioned, you can find out more about Denise on her website. The link is below in the show notes. And you can book a session with her online wherever you are in the world. A great takeaway from this session for me was the reminder that you can't change other people and what's happening around you, but you can change yourself. And when you do, everything around you usually changes too. So let me leave you with the suggestion that if something in your life is not working for you right now, if you have a difficult relationship or a challenge maybe with one of your kids, shift your focus inwards, away from the situation, and look at what are your thoughts about the situation. So if you start with changing your thinking, then control what you can control and try your best to let go of the rest. Now, I know it sounds simplistic, but it honestly works. So thanks again for listening and tuning in. And a reminder to follow the podcast if you're not already doing it. Share with friends and family. And if you have any questions or suggestions for us, you can reach out to me personally at Coach Ciara on Instagram. Make sure you're following me there too. And keep committing to keeping your vibration high. And I wish you a beautiful inner day.